everyone, welcome to Observe and Resolve, your go-to series to troubleshoot and analyze cloud-native technologies. I'm Henrik Rexed, and today we are tackling a significant issue in our industry, the impact of eBPF in our Kubernetes environment. For those who never heard about eBPF, check out the following video explaining what is the technology about and how it actually works. What is eBPF? It allows us to collect metrics, logs, profiling data, and detect or block suspicious events in our Kubernetes cluster without modifying any application code. eBPF programs are injected into the kernel space and triggered by kernel events or user space functions. It will basically collect data. The problem, while eBPF is a fantastic technology, it can basically strain the kernel if too many probes are running or if a program is not optimized. Kubernetes currently relies on kubelet to measure the node health, but kubelet reports user space and not kernel space usage. This problem can lead to a situation where kubelet thinks everything is fine while the kernel is under heavy load, causing nodes becoming unresponsive and not doing what we expect. So the solution: to avoid this, we need to monitor our eBPF usage of our probes by reporting the CPU time and the memory usage, and then build custom alerting rules. We'll use three components to achieve this. First, Inspektor Gadget, a CNCF project that manages eBPF probes like container images, an OpenPipeline to parse logs or metrics, the Dynatrace Operator to report the inventory of our Kubernetes objects and resource usage. One small note: Inspektor Gadget has worked on native supports for emitting metrics and logs. The project currently provides a new gadget compatible with the new architecture, offering out-of-the-box metrics but missing some dimension. Additionally, the project has a legacy component called Top eBPF, which does not emit any logs or any metrics. In this episode, we'll provide two distinct solutions. One using Top eBPF, this requires fewer components and more configurations, and the other one using Bpfstats, that is the easy solution for us. Let's have a look at the Observability Setup. To get started, we will need a few things. We will set up Inspektor Gadget using Helm. Then we will deploy the Dynatrace distro for OpenTelemetry to create a metric and log pipelines collecting the data from Inspektor Gadget. Deploy the Dynatrace Operator to monitor our Kubernetes workload and resource usage. So let's cover first the solution using Bpfstats. So first, we'll configure Inspektor Gadget by adding two exporters, one for metrics and one for logs. We'll configure the executions of the gadgets to emit metrics and define the actual exporter that we want to use. Once this gadget is deployed, it will send the metrics to our collector. The metric expose has dimension name, node name. We will probably want to rename this into a standard Kubernetes metadata, but we'll do that later with OpenPipeline. Depending on the source reported, Bpfstats could have empty dimension. Therefore, to avoid noise in our OTel collector, we'll use the transform processor to set a default value in case of empty values. Next, to trigger the right OpenPipelines, let's add a statement in the transform processor to create an extra attribute if the metrics comes from the gadget namespace. Then we'll define the right OpenPipeline. Let's open OpenPipelines, and to create our new pipeline for eBPFstats metrics, we will basically use only rename metrics as needed. Finally, we'll configure the pipeline route to match our gadget source, ensuring our metrics are properly structured and indexed. This will help us in building a relevant dashboard. Let's open the dashboards to report the usage of the eBPF probes in each node. We can report the CPU time in nanoseconds or the memory usage of the actual eBPF program. The only limitation is that we don't have the name of the main processes responsible of this conception. So that's where the other solutions will probably resolve that. So let's cover the other solution. Solution using Top eBPF. For this, we will need to build a container with kubectl gadget plugin installed and a script running Top eBPF. We'll deploy this as a Kubernetes job that will expose the data from Top eBPF in std out. We will need to collect that log from std out with the help of the OpenTelemetry Collector. Then, similar to the previous solution, we will add an extra attribute to the logs collected from this specific container running in the gadget namespace. Then, once we have this, we can define the right OpenPipeline. Let's open OpenPipeline. Our pipeline will be very simple. We'll need to parse the logs produced by our container. And for that, we'll extract the program name, the type of eBPF program, the node name, the CPU time, the memory usage. The CPU time is reported in various units. So let's extract the unit and create a new field that will convert our parsed value as a duration with the right unit that we extract. Then we will create two metrics out of this query, so the CPU time and the memory usage with the right dimensions to our metric. Last, we will configure the storage to drop the log that we have converted into metric. Finally, we'll configure the pipeline route to match our gadget source, ensuring all logs are properly structured and converted as expected. This will help us in building the right dashboards. So let's open the dashboards to report the usage of the eBPF probe on each node. And here I'm able to report the CPU time, the memory usage, and split this by eBPF program type and also by the process. For me, this metrics is easier to identify the source of high consumptions within our cluster. And it will help us to adjust our security policies if we see that it starts consuming too many resources in our kernel. And remember, all this done only on relying on logs. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more episode of Observe and Resolve. Thank you for watching, and see you soon for another episode. Bye.